what?
Yeah.
I'm telling you what. How often do you get to celebrate someone's birthday, let alone someone like Yenta, let alone someone like Yenta who is healthy and vibrant? And our guest of honor is going to be showing up via limousine on the south side rather, of I have to tell you a quick story, the way Yenta and I met, because I think it's worth telling. This is my 20th birthday celebration I have done for Yenta. Yenta and I met when she turned 80. I was teaching Greek dance class. She came in this cute folk dance outfit at the University of Utah. Cute as a bug. The kids in the class were in their 20s and 30s. I'm embarrassed to say I was dressed like Jane Fonda. And when I walked in the room and everybody else kind of looked, and I was wearing leotard, and I thought, ooh, not good. But I did it. But anyway, I taught dance. I was worried Yenta would run out of steam. Guess what? She outdanced everyone. I asked how old she was. She said, actually, today's my birthday. And I said, you're kidding. How old are you? She said, 80. She said, I said, you're... So the next week, I made her a simple bundt cake. If you've seen my big fat Greek wedding, it's also known as a bunk cake or a bundt, if you've seen the movie. So she was so touched by that. And she said, wow, this is so wonderful. And I thought, I'm going to do your birthday every year. And I said, and I can't wait to do your 100th. Oh my God, here we are. So this is just great. So again, thank you so much for being here. And let's have a lot of fun. Let's just make this the party of the century. Thank you guys.
Love your outfit.
Oh my goodness. What is it? Yeah. It's probably on Yenta's side. I'm on that side. Yeah. You made it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, we're starting the buffet over here, so please help yourselves to... is, if you've noticed it, has everybody seen the cake? It has shoes on it. And the theme is March 4th, Yenta's birthday. She's been marching forth in all kinds of shoes. Ice skates, hiking boots, and sexy pumps and ballet slippers. Jeannie, she took ballet with you for a couple of times when you were in your 40s. So the cake is a theme to tie in with Yenta's March 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Making a return appearance from their 1980,
We'll do another one. We have time. When the weather
13 years ago.
Thank you.
At the Oasis Cafe. Please welcome the Saliva Sisters.
My shoulder, varicose veins, they're getting even closer. Losing my memory, and there's a funny odor. We can't deny that we are getting older. If you think I'm 60 and you want my body, even though my hair is blue, I'd like to get it on, but I am so far gone, I can't remember how to. What would you do if I soiled myself? Would you stand up and walk out on me? I know I'm old and I'm losing control, and I'm never quite sure when I'll pee. So I get by with a little help from deep ends. I can drive with a little help from deep ends. Oh, I stay dry with a little help from deep ends. Do you need to go potty? I just need someone to wipe. Could it be any potty? I think I just blew my pipes. Oh, I get by with a little help from deep ends. Oh, I can drive with a little help from deep ends. Yeah, I stay dry with a little help from deep ends. Oh, I can drive my RV and decide when I pee with the pen.
Yenta, I've known Yenta, or Yenta knew me when I was in my mother's womb, and it's been a part of my life ever since, over 60 years. And chatting with Lisa, I was trying to, the analogy that came to my mind in Yenta was kind of like, it's like a parade, and Yenta is just, every day is a parade for her, but as I thought about it since, I'm going to kind of walk that back, because like parades are once a year, and they're a couple of hours, and you're on the sidelines watching, you're in the middle performing, but Yenta's kind of like that clown that's in the parade that kind of goes from side to side, interacts with everybody on the side, everybody in the parade. So, and does that every day, all the time. Many of you don't know, never met Yenta's husband. So for me, I really can't think of Yenta without thinking of Nat. And Yenta and Nat are kind of like salt and pepper. They're nothing alike, but they belong together. Nat was this staid, dignified banker. Yenta is zany, adventure seeker, horseback riding, anything. But they made this incredible team. Nat's been gone for about 25 years. I just can't think of her without him. So if you didn't meet Nat, Yenta is kind of a great representation in a different way. I wrote myself some notes so I can remember what to say. Yenta loves beauty. Really the primary beauty Yenta loves is people. So Yenta's the person that can see beauty in everyone. and I don't mean just the people that we choose to meet. Yenta goes through life purposely and doesn't ever look down. She looks up. Everybody she meets, she greets. And the very first thing she does is find out about their story. She wants to know what is their story. And then when she feels she's done that and they're still there, then of course Yenta's not beyond sharing a story or two or many stories. But Yenta loves beauty of people. The next is the outdoors. So Yenta's traveled the country, other foreign countries. Everywhere she goes, she sees beauty in nature. It's an amazing thing. We've made a few trips to southern Utah and some of the most desolate places along the way. There's things that just amaze her. And then lastly, kind of a perplexing thing is Yenta loves things. But not like normal things. Yenta loves things that other people have had and given up. Not new things, old things. So Yenta's probably visited more thrift stores, yard sales, and other kind of places. Actually, I was thinking about when I was a kid, what people used to do is instead of giving things like the DI, we'd put it out at the curb. And eventually it might go to the garbage, but it was kind of like free range. You could pick through that stuff. And I know many treasures. So Yenta was probably really one of the first people to repurpose things. Hey, I'm on to another page. So I was only supposed to talk for like 2 minutes, and I've already gone over. So the amazing thing to me about Yenta is how relevant she is. I mean, relevant in people's lives, but how up to date she is with what goes on, current events, all these things. So Yenta, and we all know she doesn't own a cell phone. She's never know about Facebook, never had an internet access, no emails. But beyond that, she never had a microwave. Never had a device with a remote control. And I do know she has a TV, and I think it's from about the era that I was born. I've never, in all the times I've been to her place, have I ever seen it on. I don't even know that it works. But in spite of all that, I think about how much those modern day conveniences mean to me, and how much I think I couldn't do without them. And so over the years, I've tried to convince Yenta. So let me do something for you. Let me give you a thing that, like voicemail or answering machine for your phone, so you know who called. Let me bring you a microwave. And she always said no, and I always kind of figured she just didn't want me to spend the money or whatever. But it's really she just didn't want to be troubled with the conveniences, the modern day conveniences. She knows how to make things work. So let me just. If I can just detour a moment and share a little of my Yenta story. So my parents lived in the Ben Air apartments. My mother was pregnant. Yenta and Nat were dear friends of my parents. They had twin brothers. Then we moved out to like Evergreen area, like 39 South, dear friends. When I was about 7, earlier before that, my dad had a business venture in Butte, Montana, really not a very delightful place. And he was back and forth. My mom refused to go, but finally he convinced her. So when I was 7, we moved up there, and a very few months later, on a Monday morning, my dad got in his car to go to work, had a heart attack, and died. I don't know if it was the first call my mother made, but it was one of the first. And within a day, Yenta was up there, gathered us up, drove us back to Salt Lake, my mother, my brothers, and I, settled us back in, made arrangements so that my father could be buried in the Jewish cemetery. And they're just, my dad and Nat are just a couple of paces apart. So then, about 3 years later, tragedy struck my mother, and me and my brothers were each sent in a different direction. And to say we became mischievous would be like really, that's giving myself a real huge benefit of the doubt. But during that time, Nat and Yenta periodically would track us all down, load us in their car, take us up to the canyon, or maybe to the Museum of Natural History or somewhere like that, take us for an adventure, always ice cream, while we'd sit in the back seat of her car, tell dirty jokes, act completely just irreverent. But you know, she never once really scolded us or whatever, she just, you know, just smiled. Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, fortunately I became an adult, and you know, and we've had Yenta, and I don't know that I was ever very responsible, but I've had Yenta in my life ever since. So, you know, you hold a very, very dear place in my heart. So, they asked me to do a toast, and that's really what I'm up here for. So I was supposed to bring a champagne glass, but I really brought a cup of coffee because I thought that it only would be appropriate. But, you know, this is a big deal. This deal today, Yenta, for you and for everybody here, it's a big deal. And it's really not a big deal, as big a deal that you live to be 100. It's what you did in those 100 years. You know, people can live a little or a long time, but you've, you know, made those years so worthwhile. You've had a huge impact on thousands of lives. And so I know you don't really like to be in the spotlight, but I want you to know you are a huge deal. And so, in the spirit of that, here, let us raise a toast as you begin the second decade of your life. May every day be filled with joy and happiness, and may you bring that to everyone you meet. All the best.
My goodness. That it is of Yenta ice skating. We made cards of this for everybody. So you can have a take home. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my dearest friends and a very dear friend of Yenta from Los Angeles, California, via New Orleans, here, through a snowstorm to get here, and then he's headed out to Europe. My dear friend, John Clayton Jr.
Wow, this is fun. Happy birthday, birthday girl. This is so cool. You probably have heard that all morning, but you haven't heard it from me.
Oh, well, when you turn 100, you hear that all the time.
Yeah, okay. At this age, you hear that all the time. Is that what happens? Great. I don't know. I just thought I'd play the bass, make some bass sounds, all dedicated to you. I really don't know what I'm going to do, but one thing that might be kind of fun. And this is a song that I think you'll all recognize, and if you do, there will be a place that you can sing along. I'll let you know when. we changed the title to that. Yes, we are a rich man. Yes, we are rich people, thanks to you being in our lives, Yenta. So thank you for being here, and thank all of you for sharing your love and your joy and your energy. I always say that people give energy, and it's really, really important for us to attach our energy to each other, as we have done to honor you and celebrate you and be a part of your smile and all the things that you bring to our lives. So now it's time for something, a little silly song, right? We all like silly. Silly is good. And this is a song about my favorite instrument, right? Let's see if I can adjust here. And it goes like this. I was sitting around the house the other day, looking at TV, watching those football players play. My team was losing, so it wasn't even funny. And old dumb me, I bet all my rent money. I got so shook, I could hardly even talk. So I got my bass, and we went for a walk. We started walking. Now the bass and I, we got a great thing going. We stand on the corner and see what legs are showing. Some of the girls that walk by don't like the look of my face, but every last one says, "Can I pluck that bass?" I said, no, you just keep walking. We must have walked, a mile or more. I commenced getting tired because my feet was getting sore. So I said, "Bass, we've walked pretty far. Let's go have a taste in this soulful looking bar." So we walked in and ordered two. And the bartender, he's standing there like he don't know what to do. I said, "Hey man, why that blank look on your face?" He said, "First time in my life I've ever seen him drinking bass," and we went walking. We must have had, round after round. Finally, I got so I thought my insides would drown. I mean, every time I looked down, I saw him shake like jelly, and I can't drink as much as this bass. It's got a much bigger belly. So I said, "Bass, after we get these last two down, let's make ourselves homeward bound." And we tried to walk, but we was pretty toe up. I said, "Quit leaning on me, you fiddle with a thyroid problem." I mean, I was seeing double, bass that is. By the time I got home, I'd straightened up. So I walked in my house and said, "Hi, Buttercup." She said, JC, I can tell by that look on your face, you've been out drinking again. There in that dadgum drunken bass. Now we don't have any money, and we can't pay the rent. And where are we gonna sleep? Are we gonna sleep in that old funky tent? I said, "You jive, get out of my face. I don't need you. I've got my bass." And we went walking. So if you've got domestic problems or whatever may be the case, just save a little money and go buy a bass. And when your mate starts that nagging talking, you can just say, "Shut up." You grab your bass and go walking. You might say, "Spend all that money? It's only made of wood," but you can tell by its shape, it must be some kind of good. Let's go walking. Thank you, everybody. Happy birthday, Yenta. We love you. Thank you. There's been a request.
Can we do an encore? One more. Can we do one more? Okay, one more.
There's been a request. Okay. It'll be short,
It'll be short.
but it'll be from the heart. It's even heart-shaped.
John Clayton. Thank you again, John, for coming. Thank you all for coming. I hope you've had a great time. Yenta, we love you dearly.
Oh, well, another day.
As Yenta says, she said to me another day, she also says, oh, to be 90 again. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a safe drive home.